What's up, guys? Out to here with another video, and I want to talk about this whole Amber Guyger trial that's been going on. And I'm gonna try to make this video as short as possible, and I'm gonna try to get my point across because there's a couple of things that I do want to address about this whole trial and how it ended. I'm not really gonna get too much into the charges or what I think she should have been charged with, or how she should have been charged, or I'm not going to go into details of the case and all of that stuff because, to be honest, I really didn't watch the trial. I watched a couple of days where there was a couple of testimonies given. So with that being said, let me just go ahead and get right into the video. And the first thing that I want to address is that a lot of people think that she was that she got off easy. Okay, they believe that Amber Guyger getting 10 years was unjust. They believe that she should have gotten life. I've been hearing a lot of arguments about people, black people. Let's just keep it real. We're gonna keep this conversation candid. I've been hearing conversations about black people. If she was a black cop and she would have killed somebody white, or she was on the other foot, then that person would be in prison, and yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of people who've been protesting about, saying that, this is injustice, this is inequality, just the basic run-of-the-mill talking points that you would hear. Now, first of all, if you want to know where I stand on this, I really don't know. I'm not one person, who is, well-versed in the law. And what people got to understand is that when it comes to sentencing, okay, I don't know if this was a state case or a federal case, okay? And what you have to understand is that state and federal are two different things, okay? When you're standing in front of a state judge or a federal judge, the sentencing is going to be different. Certain things are going to take place, whatever. So that's why I don't know what the stipulations are legally for the state of Texas or the city of Dallas or whatever. But this is one of the things that gets me. And I try to bring this up a lot of times, especially with you unbelievers, especially unbelievers who are watching. You guys will go out there and you'll reject God's word as the ultimate standard, as the standard for truth and justice. You guys will reject that. You'll do away with it. You'll call us Christians crazy for for holding to the Bible as a standard. Okay. But when you reject God, and this is a prime example of what happens when you reject God's authority, when you reject the Bible as that foundation for truth and justice, you have things like this happens because now you're basically putting the law in the hands of human beings, okay, flawed human beings. So you're not really going to get that much justice. You're not going to get absolute justice, especially when you put it in the hands of men. And this is a prime example. Because if you think about it, like, people like to always say that the laws of Moses was copied from the Code of Hammurabi, and what's the other one? The laws of Ma'at and all of that stuff. And these people who always like to say that, they never read the Bible, because if you actually read the Code of Hammurabi and the laws of Ma'at, this aligns exactly with or how the way people were judged back in the day. So when it came to especially the Code of Hammurabi, you were judged based on your class in society. And you were judged a lot harsher if you were, well, basically the more poorer you are, or the less money that you have, or the less influence that you have on society, the harsher you were punished. Okay, kind of like what we see now. But if you had a high position in society, then your punishment would be a lot less. Okay, that's what went on with the Code of Hammurabi. The Bible, when you read the Bible, the laws of Moses, it was the opposite. Okay, the people who held high positions in society were the people who were punished harshly for committing certain acts or certain deeds or transgressions against God. So God punished them a lot harsher because these people, they knew better. They knew the law, they knew what to do. So they had harsher punishments. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, people like to bring up David, right? King David, when he did what he did with Bathsheba, and their first son died. Okay, that was one of the punishments that God rendered on David, because God knew that David knew better. Okay, and and the reason why God did those things was because certain people's actions could lead a whole nation down the toilet, or it could lead them all to sin, all to transgress against God. So that's why it's just laughable when I hear people trying to say that the Ten Commandments and the laws of Moses was stolen from or copied from the Code of Hammurabi, and you get a lot of these conscious people nowadays, a lot of unbelievers who believe that we make up society and we make the laws for society. We make what's good. Well, here's an example of people not even going by the Bible, making up laws, making up, just making up these punishment for society, and now people want to be outraged. But here's my question: by what standard do you think that this lady should have been judged? You see what I'm saying? So if in the law, and I'm pretty sure this lady is being judged by what's in the law. So based on Texas state law, she was judged according to that, and the judge could not have given her a more lenient or a more harsher sentence. She probably could have given her a harsher sentence if she want to, but this is the sentence that she got. But again, what standard are you appealing to say that this was unjust? You see what I'm saying? And I see a lot of people who's making these comments on YouTube videos, on social media, and they're not saying that according to this is how she should have been judged. And these people do not even live in the state of Texas. They're not lawyers. They're not people who have studied the law in Texas. So it's like, by what standard are you saying that this was unjust? And this is a prime example. When you turn away from God, things will happen, and you will have a lot of things that will happen that will be unjust because you don't have a standard. You've thrown away the ultimate standard. So now is do what thou wilt. We as a society make up what the law should be. Well, what if you're not a person who was influential in society? You don't get to do anything. You don't get to decide anything. You've basically left judgment in the hands of other people, other men. So, and I want, like I said, I want you guys to ponder on that. Now, here's the second part of the video, and some of these same people who made videos about how unjust this whole thing is with Amber Guyger not getting more time and all of this stuff here. You have a lot of people who have a problem with the brother. I forgot his name, but I think his last name is Botham. The brother was up on stand. He was up on a stand and he was testifying, and he asked to give the lady a hug. Okay, Amber Guyger, who's the one who's on trial, she is the cop that was accused of killing his brother. So, and he was basically saying that he forgave her. They talked with their church, their local church pastors, and everybody. They forgave him. They forgave her. I'm sorry. And he even mentioned during the trial saying that if his brother was alive, because his brother was a Christian, was a practicing Christian. I don't know what his theology was, but he was a Christian guy. And his brother said that if his brother, who was fatally shot by this lady, if he was alive, he would have wanted forgiveness for her as well. And he wanted her to read a couple of passages in the Bible, and he wanted her to basically just calling her to repentance. You know what I'm saying? This is what us Christians do, like it or not. Now, first point that I want to make is that everybody got upset because he gave the lady a hug and he showed her compassion. They don't think that he should have showed her compassion. Now, first of all, when Christians go out and do something hypocritical, everybody wants to, non-believers love to point that out. Oh, you supposed to be this. Oh, you call yourself a Christian. Oh, y'all supposed to be doing this. Y'all supposed to be showing love and compassion. But then when we do show love and compassion, not in the way that a lot of these people want us to do it, now it's a problem. So, and that's why I just say, when you listen to these unbelievers talk, man, it's nothing but a bunch of foolishness that comes out of their mouth because, when it comes to the LGBT community or homosexuality or transgenderism and all of that, we're supposed to show love and compassion, But then when we really do truly show love and compassion, then we're not really supposed to do that because this person is not deserving of love and compassion because they're white and you're black. You see what I'm saying? And this is why people hate Christians, true Christians. I'm not talking about the fake Christians that go to, some of these big mega churches and they're under guys like Jamal Bryant and T.D. Jakes and all that. I'm not talking about those mamby-pamby, watered-down Christians. I'm talking about Christians who actually crack open that Bible, they read it, and they do what it says. The reason why people hate us is because we are consistent. And in this world, people do not like consistency. They don't, and this is why, this whole thing got them triggered. The whole trial, even the verdict got them triggered because they don't like consistency. When you're being consistent and you're upholding the law, people don't like that. They want to be able to change the law at will whenever they feel like it. I had a discussion on Facebook this morning, and one of the people, somebody posted something to the effect of, "Well, I can't believe that she only got 10 years for murder and all of this stuff here." And I'm just like, I know some street guys who have actually gotten 10 years for murder, and they were out on 8. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, it depends on the city and state that you're in, of how harsh your sentence is going to be. And I've had family members, be indicted with murder and they were home in like 10 years. So this is nothing new. And it's crazy how a lot of these people, especially black people, I think that we're probably the most inconsistent people on the planet. But I know that we are in America, and that's why we have so many problems in our neighborhoods. It's because we throw away the Bible and we don't have a standard. We don't have an ultimate standard to appeal to because we don't want God. That's for sure. But we don't like consistency. We like hypocrisy a lot of times. And the reason why I say that, and here's a prime example. If a black person goes and terrorizes the neighborhood. Lil Ray Ray goes out there and he's been terrorizing the neighborhood for the past 20 years, finally gets arrested, thrown in prison. He's facing 20, 30 years. And what is the first thing that black people go and do? They go and get shirts and post on social media, "Free Lil Ray Ray." Now, he been out there terrorizing the neighborhood, selling drugs, killing people, doing all of this stuff here. And now we want to free Ray Ray. You see what I'm saying? So that's just so it's so inconsistent, and this is why people like me, I like to try to make these videos because I want people to understand that without God, you have no consistency, excuse me, and things like this are come on, people, we know how corrupt the justice system is, we know it. I mean, this is no surprise. We know that the justice system is corrupt. And, and it's like every time something like this happens, we just get so surprised. Like, oh, I can't believe this happened. And then we say that every single time. But it's like, what do you expect when you're steady pushing God out of society? And you don't, and everything is just so microwave nowadays. We want things now. We want it quick. We want change. Every few years, and sometimes it's not even every few years. Now it's starting to become every day. Every day we want something to change. We don't like this. We need to get rid of that. And what you think is going to happen? when you don't have that consistency and you don't have a standard to appeal to, and you're constantly calling for change. This is what happens. So don't be surprised at this. And like I say in a lot of my videos, man, just don't be surprised with it, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be happening. Just stay tuned, stay alive, and you guys are going to be way more shocked than this, because every day people are trying to find a way to push God out of society. They're trying to find a way to silence us Christians, and it's like when you start to do stuff like that, God is going to continue to remove his hand from this nation, from this world, and you're going to really see how evil and how wicked men are. We're starting to see a lot of blatant stuff, a lot of man's blatant wickedness going on right now in the world. Some of y'all are not even aware of some of the blatant stuff that's going on right now. You're so busy, on social media caring about yourself. By the time you do look up, now you're being affected. But anyway, guys, this video is about, 16 minutes? So I just wanted to go ahead and just basically touch on that, give a little rant about that, man, because, it's just mind-boggling to me how people are so surprised at this verdict, and people are just, basically bashing this guy who's a Christian, showing love and compassion, and they're trying to hold us to that standard. And when we do hold to that standard, now it's still a problem. But as a Christian, you guys don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at this. I mean, the Bible. I actually did devotion on this with my family this morning. We were in 1 Peter 4, and it talked about, and Peter was just basically reminding his disciples that don't be surprised when the fiery trials come. People hated Christ, they're gonna hate you. Even Christ said it himself. He says they hated me first, so they're gonna hate you. So anyway, guys, that's the end of this video. Hey, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna try to, post more videos. I've just been so busy, haven't had a chance to do any. But usually whenever I post something, I try to make the topic. I try to make sure that I'm covering topics that are relevant. And I always try to give a candid and honest understanding and candid candid biblical view of what's going on. But anyway, if you do like this video, like, rate, share, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a blessed day.